Alright, hello everyone. This is Forlorn Scout. So this is the DaC Let's Play, first DaC Let's Play I've been talking about. And, you know, I guess I wanted to think about which faction I wanted to play, so I took a little bit of time. And I decided to do Dol Amroth. Partially because I realized I actually hadn't played Dol Amroth in quite a long time. I don't think I've played them since. It would have to be, might have been version 4 last time I played them, which was years ago now. But anyway, I decided on Dol Amroth. They're a challenging faction in my opinion, so they'll be an interesting Let's Play. Doing very hard, because of course that's how it's balanced. The short victory conditions versus the long, it's not really all that different, so I'm just gonna do long. Alright, so let's get this started. And now I'm going to admit I'm gonna be a little bit rusty with DaC because I haven't really played it all that much in a little while, so I'm just a tiny bit rusty, but it'll be fine. Alright, of course this is the welcome message that I've already read. I will just kind of scroll down. I'm just going to assume most people have read this, so I'm just going to kind of slowly scroll down this message, and you can read it if you so wish. But it's just kind of explaining Dol Amroth and some of the kind of lore around it and that kind of thing, and its position in the mod. Alright, so Dol Amroth is perhaps special in Divide and Conquer. For a few reasons. First, it's actually one of the last factions in the mod that is kind of very much like how old DaC was, and by old DaC I mean DaC when it was very script light. So it was very script light, which is one of its many benefits over a mod like Moss. It ran very quickly as opposed to Moss. Moss was very slow to run. But Dol Amroth, so what I mean is a lot of factions used to be in that position, but since most factions have gotten associated scripts, or just, I suppose, well, they would just be associated scripts. There's not very many factions left that don't really have something going on with them, which is interesting, and I don't know exactly why. I mean, I could speculate, but that's just one thing to keep in mind with Dol Amroth, is there's no special scripts associated with Dol Amroth. And Dol Amroth is also special because it was, and I suppose still is, the favorite faction of the former lead of the mod. Of course, Galu, famously Galu loves Dol Amroth, which is understandable. Dol Amroth is a very interesting faction in the mod. A lot of people think that Dol Amroth is in the mod because Galu wanted it to be in the mod, but that's not actually the case. If I remember correctly, he actually was first drawn to the mod a long time ago. Because, sorry, I was paying attention to my cat. But he was first drawn to the mod because Dol Amroth was in the mod. And a lot of people say, you know, it maybe shouldn't be separate from Gondor because it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't make sense that they get all the fiefdom units, and I can kind of understand that, some of that. But the way I have always seen Gondor, or not Gondor, I've always seen Dol Amroth in Divide and Conquer is, especially with Dol Amroth's objectives, which is to go down and destroy the Adunayim, the Kingsmen, in Umbar, and then, of course, knock Harad out. The way I see Dol Amroth is less Dol Amroth by itself, and more Dol Amroth acting as Gondor and its associated fiefs heading south to deal with the south, you know, to deal with taking Harandor and dealing with Harad and dealing with the so-called true sons of Numenor. And so that's the way I see it. A lot of people see it just as Dol Amroth is strong just because, you know, the former lead dev of the mod really loved Dol Amroth, and so that's why they have all these benefits as opposed to some other factions. And okay, so, you know, I kind of agree, maybe, you know, maybe Haven Guard should be a little bit harder to come by, and maybe certain units should be a little bit more AOR, but I think Dol Amroth is fine. I mean, and a lot of people complain that they're a little bit stronger than Gondor, but lore-wise, the rationale behind that is, unlike Gondor, which Gondor, the Numenorians in Gondor, really, especially after the Civil War, where Castamir the Usurper took the throne, and then I can't remember the king's name. That's going to bother me. But anyway, there was a king, and he was kind of he was half Northman, half Gondorian, and so a lot of people feared that he, you know, the Gondorian bloodline was going to be kind of watered down by these lesser men, and so there's a big civil war and yada yada yada. But since that king won and Castamir was cast down, there's been more and more intermarriage with people who are not of Numenorian descent in Gondor, and so by the time of the War of the Ring, there's not actually a whole lot of, like, pure-blood Numenorians left, if you want to say pure-blood Numenorian. So there's a lot of middlemen, a lot of Northmen who settled in Gondor, so that's something to pay attention to. Whereas in Dol Amroth, in Belfalas, there wasn't as much of that. So to kind of represent that, Dol Amroth, in certain regards, has slightly better stats, but it's not really all that much. It's like 1 or 2 points here or there. But anyway, yeah, that's enough. I think that's enough rambling for right now. Let's kind of look at the game. Dol Amroth. Let's see here. Ready. Haven't played them for a while, so they start with two fleets. Unlike previous versions, Dol Amroth starts with Atheland. It used to be a rebel settlement with a fairly sizable rebel garrison, but it actually starts fairly built up now. You can recruit Nimrodel Mariners. Or is it Mariners? Yeah, Nimrodel Nimrodel Mariners, and you can recruit those from the dockyard. Okay. Baragund, he has Nimrodel Mariners, I would assume. With Adrian, he's a very, very powerful general. He has Talon Knights, I know that. Of course, there's Imrahil. Famously a strong general, even after losing the Swan Knights. He just has Royal Swan Guard now. Let's see here, Istian with some cavalry militia. We have Amandir. I think Amandir is going to be staying in Lynn here as governor. Baragund here is going to be moving out. This is one annoying thing. They switched, at some point they switched Mistfin and Baragund. But they gave the kind of cloaked ranger look to, they kept it with Mistfin, but he now has, I can bring him out of the settlement, he has Seaward Spearman, which is kind of like a Gondorian spearman equivalent. Also, he is not going to be staying in that town. He is going to be going into that fort because he is too expensive. That is one of the problems with Dol Amroth. It is expensive, and there's also one thing to pay attention to. There are lots of rebels in our territory. And I think I am going to start out by getting a bunch of Mason Halls. I know it might not be the most efficient, but I think it is, just to save some money kind of everywhere. I think it's a pretty good thing to do. Do we not get free upkeep here? Oh, it's because we don't have them. That doesn't make sense. Oh, it's because we can't train Gondor militia.
Yes.
Okay, maybe not. I'll just keep them in there for now. What to do here? Because the plan is to try and take. There's a town here. It's called Tir Thoros, and then there's one right here called Barrett Harn. Plan is to ideally take both of those before Harad and Umbar get over here, and then of course there's also the Variags to worry about.
Your orders.
There's Baragond. I don't know why he has that portrait, but we're going to send him south.
Without question.
Let's see here, diplomacy. I don't know if our diplomacy has changed. Okay, so we don't start at war with Cand, which is a good thing. That's one of the big things with Dol Amroth, and why it's so difficult. Is because usually you end up fighting Umbar, Harad, and Cand. And it's really bad if Cand stays with Mordor, so that's always an issue. Let's see here. So we don't want Imrahil to stay there. So let's see here. That would be a good. Thinking. I'm thinking some Gondor militia and coastal wardens. And I'm going to take these guys out as well. Basically, I'm not going to general doomstack necessarily, but basically I'm going to kind of strip all of the troops from here, because they're all good troops, and put them into a fairly, it won't be a very big army to start off with, but a sizable army so I can take these towns and start dealing with Harad and Umbar. I don't want to sail straight to Umbar, but I have a feeling that I may have to if things don't go correctly. This campaign very well may fail. I am not a amazing player at this game. So let's get some coastal wardens. Let's stick that on low tax rate. These all castles? Oh, they are. Is Lynn here?
Awaiting your command.
Lynn here's a town, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. So, like I said, Amandir is going to stay there. I think there is a Corsair rebel army somewhere around there.
Your will, my lord.
So,
My lord.
I'm going to put these guys in
By
that
your
fort
command.
to save some money, and then they're all going to move out through here, and Barragund is going to put a tower right there. Just so there's some sightline, and then, let's see here. Imrahil can stay there because he is, let's see how much money he's kind of providing. He's providing anything. He's or what is he providing to the settlement? He's doing some. So let's see.
Order.
Oh, he's providing almost no money. Okay.
Ready your weapons. Orders. Yes. Joining for
In that case,
onward.
we can go in that fort. And these guys can be the garrison.
Mariners of the fleet.
Ah, yes, the famous Mariners of the Fleet. Mariners. Yeah, so Pelander is famously a very good admiral. They also like yelling Mariners of the Fleet, which is why I was making fun of it.
Ships ready.
Yeah, so that is another thing, is unlike, I'd say, most factions in the game, it is going to be, I think, very important to our success in this, that
Ready your weapons.
oh wow, he doesn't provide very much either.
By your command. Merging armies, my lord.
I don't remember if there's a rebel army over
Watch
here.
for the
But
enemy. Protect the blood of Numenor.
anyway, so get a little garrison for that. But anyway, the navy is going to be a big deal. Harad is less of an issue because they don't get good ships, but Umbar is an issue because they get the black they get those black ships that are very strong. I think they're actually better
Ships ready.
than our larger ships there, but we start with 2 fleets. That should be enough for a while. I'm probably going to transfer Mistvin over to the army over here. I know I said I wasn't going to General Doomstack, but it's going to be important to keep our generals. Our generals around. So let's see here. Those guys there. I think we've built everything. Got a garrison there. Gonna get a garrison there.
Captain of
Adrian is gonna link up with Imrahil, and then they're gonna move over. Actually, might sail them across.
Ready your weapons.
Yes,
we're going
my
to send the
lord.
diplomat down south, and yeah, we're making some money. Oh, alright, so we'll end the turn. Yeah, so it's going to be very important. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to think about a little bit more down the line, because I've really only thought about the opening moves of the campaign. I haven't really thought about how I'm going to deal with Umbar and Harad. That's going to be interesting to kind of think about how I'm going to do that. Some suggestions would always be appreciated, because I haven't done Dol Amroth in a long time. The last time I played Dol Amroth, they didn't start with a Thalinda, which was quite a long time ago. Oh, there's a little rebel stack walking around. Oh, and we have a mission to take Erdharn, one of the settlements I was already looking at. Got tons of coastal wardens.
Yes.
You will go into that fort there. Coastal wardens are like a little javelin militia unit. They are not very good. They're like a worse version of Gondor militia, but they get a javelin instead, which I suppose is some benefit, but not very much. Okay.
Protect the blood of Numenor.
So I'm gonna go there, build a tower.
Let us set up camp here.
And these guys going with you.
Joining forces.
We're not
Bill.
making
Captain
much
of
money.
Gondor.
Marchmen. Your will, my lord. Yes.
Maintain order.
How much does Immerhill cost? Oh my god. He costs a
Ready your
ton.
weapons.
My lord. Orders.
Okay, one of these guys can, I suppose it doesn't really matter.
Protect the blood of Numenor.
Put them all in that fort. Didn't realize Immerhill cost that much, but you can see his bodyguard increasing. As he gets stronger and stronger, Immerhill is gonna, he's gonna keep getting better.
Protect the blood of Numenor.
And what to do with Istian?
Be gone.
There's a little Corsair army
My
there.
lord.
Just gotta see this town. Oh wow, that's got a really tiny garrison.
As you wish. Stop it.
Captain of Gondor.
So the issue is, I think there's an army right there. Can't quite remember though. So, gonna put a save. Ah, yes, you can see all of the saves, and you can see how long ago it's been since I played. It's been a couple months. Just put this as a DA. I have to delete those saves, because those were older
Ready
saves.
your weapons.
All right, so Istian.
Marchmen.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I thought. Taken completely by surprise. We have some Azor Zaire crossbowmen. These are a fairly early tier crossbowman unit for the Adonayim. They're a good unit. There's warriors with the old UI art, but they're just axe. They're lightly armed shock troops. Then of course there's the Corsair archers and Corsair raiders, no longer called Azor Zaire. They were called at same name as these units for a while, but now they're just back to Corsairs, and they're just mercenary units, kind of available everywhere. Alright, so we have been ambushed, so we are going to save. That is not how you spell battle. Save. And we're gonna fight it.
Let them have it, men.
Hope it goes well. I am a bit rusty, and losing the cavalry kind of early is gonna be a bit of an issue.
Units, await my orders.
But we're going to run this way. Oh, wait a second. We're gonna run this way instead. Oh gosh, we're getting shot at. Because I kind of want them to get spaced out a little bit, so we can charge them a little bit easier, because we just have some Gondor militia. The big unit here is the Knights of Dol Amroth, as we have some Royal Swan Guard, looking very snazzy. Gondor Militia, good, but they're not as good as the Royal Swan Guard. Losing this cavalry early is gonna be kind of tough, but it is just Gondor cavalry militia. It's really not that big of a deal. Let's see here. Okay, so the general is on the crossbow unit. So I'm gonna have you go wide, and have you guys go this way. I am not going to speed the game up to ×6. I have learned well from watching Galu's videos that speeding up too much is folly. Ooh, yeah, that was not a good charge. Because I need to hit that. Let's get these guys formed up again. Unfortunately, those guys reformed.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Yeah, we're killing them pretty bad, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Let's get these guys to charge. You can go a little wide. You come back this way, Istian. Okay, you guys are routing. Let's go after those archers.
Right swiftly. The prince is gone. What is it?
Come on, run. I hate how sometimes it just does not decide that they just decide that no, actually no, we're not gonna run. We're just gonna kind of walk around aimlessly. But yeah, no, we're gonna win this battle easily. Cavalry got kinda pretty thoroughly mauled. But again, it is just it's just Gondor cavalry militia. It's really not that big of a deal. Let's have those guys go that way. Oh wow, they're getting chased down by those crossbows. And one guy got caught. That is amazing. Gondor Cavalry Militia. Best unit in the game.
The glory of Numenor!
Although, weak militia cav like this...
The enemy army
Oh, wait.
frees the field.
Killed the general.
Pursue and run them down.
Shouldn't, yeah,
The enemy are utterly
shouldn't really scoff at
vanquished.
militia
This
cavalry.
is a great victory, worthy
This is
of
medieval
only
too.
the
Any
mightiest
cavalry is...
of generals.
Any cavalry is really strong. I mean, you can take, what are they called for Rohan? Peasant scouts. I mean, you can do a lot of damage with peasant scouts if you get the right charges going. And same thing with Gondor cavalry militia. I mean, see here, those two units killed the most. Unfortunately, they did not heal very much. But they did get pretty good kills. This particular unit here, which would be this one, I believe, they get the golden sword for the battle. So that's always good. So good first battle, clear some bandits out. That's going to be kind of important because devastation is real bad. Don't want to deal with it. I don't remember if there's any more rebels in and around Belfast, but we'll see. But with this, the road across to the Anduin should be
Gondor is victorious.
pretty well open.
Onward!
Go into this fort, make some more money.
As you
They
wish.
can go into that fort as well. It's gonna be a pretty, actually not a half bad little army. Oh, Istian got a horse master. That's a pretty good trait. There's gonna be this little army here. That's
Yes,
really not
my
the
lord.
big deal. Okay, so we're just kind of waiting on all that. Oh, I forgot to build something here. Probably should do that. Yeah, let's just put in a mason hall.
Ready your weapons.
Bearer guns is gonna be coming
Let
down.
us set up camp here.
I had to check if it actually was bearer guns because, again, they switched those generals around, and I can never remember. Alright, so we have Istian and his little army. They're not too badly mauled, but they're not as effective as they once were. We have father and son coming with a little army. They're going to link up. It's going to be actually going to be a pretty mean little early game force to take Tirathoros, and then we'll move down to take Baradharn, although there is the mission. Yeah, we have 15 turns, we'll easily get that. Probably sail these guys across, because I think Mistfin, he'd either be a good general, like a field general, like a supporting general, I mean, or he might be a good kind of like temporary governor of somewhere. Because his unit is not really that amazing, it's basically just a slightly better version of Gondor Spearmen. Anyway, I think
Ready your weapons.
that might be it for
Yes,
this
my
turn. We did that, okay. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I remember in the past, and again, this was, a whole version ago, version 4, which I think version 4 came out in like 2019 or something like that. Might have been 2020. But anyway, it was a long time ago, and I remember Harad and Umbar were
My lord,
very aggressive.
without question.
So they haven't
Yes.
taken. Trying to remember where.
As you wish.
Obviously, I know
Tomorrow's
Harad.
journey
Not
planned
Harad.
out.
I know Canned, one of those two. It's over here somewhere. I don't remember where Imlad Karnan is, though. I believe that's the town they have. We have all the Mason halls. So let's get some eco buildings. Because Lynn here is a town, really should get some eco buildings. That's not going to make a whole lot of money. But we'll get, I think we'll get that, because I think that might really, probably will be the best thing to do. Let's get port there. And in Mithras, it's going to be mines. Yes, we also have the either much beloved or much maligned fiefdom barracks for Dol Amroth. But not going to be building that right now. It's going to be mines there, and we're going to build here, and all the money is gone. What am I going to build here? I suppose, yeah, communal farming is fine. Don't have a whole lot of money left.
Awaiting your command. Onward!
And we're gonna
Let us set up camp here.
start having not so much money.
Maintain order!
Oof. That's
Onward!
not amazing.
Maintain order!
But it's necessary. And we have some bandits there. Okay. Duvinawen. I'm not... Duvinawen? Duvanawen? I don't... That... Some of the names I do not know how to pronounce. Some of them are far easier to pronounce than others.
Ready your weapons.
I will only address you in battle.
I think I'm gonna wait, because we're already losing so much cash, as it is.
Gondor.
Ships ready.
Let's see here, by Meldeer,
fine
let's just
day
kind of
to
keep an
sail.
eye on Baradharn.
Yes, sir. Full sail.
Mariners
of the fleet! The mariners of the fleet
Fine
can
day
sit
to
in that
sail.
port. Or what is it? Is it a port? Yeah, it's actually a port. Baradharn does have a fairly sizable little garrison. Tirthoros, however, does not.
Your orders.
Already moved you.
Protect the
We're
blood
getting
of
the army
Numenor.
together. It's going to be a pretty mean army with all these Nimrodel mariners.
Captain of Gondor.
Not much infantry, though. Not much
Ready your
infantry. Probably... Yeah, I don't make a lot of money as it is. Let's see here, we got
Protect the blood of
two
Numenor.
Monrothian guardsmen, which is kind of like Dol
Ready your
Amroth's
weapons.
equivalent to like, territorial guardsmen, but I think they're better than that. Of course, we have Gondor militia, just normal Gondor militia. So,
Maintain order. Awaiting your command.
how much would something like Coastal Wardens? Oh, they're only 190. I think I'm gonna get a unit of Coastal Wardens just to help kind of fill the army out a little
Protect the
bit
blood of
better.
Numenor.
I know they're not great, and then of course we're gonna bring these guys over as well, so there will be more infantry. It'll be fine. That's usually one of the big problems I end up facing in campaigns. Usually I end up losing most of the infantry. After like a string of victories, I have my infantry line is gone, and then I have to fall back, and I have like no infantry left. That was a nice little jingle. So I'm going to try and save the infantry line, because really the infantry is not Dol Amroth's strength. They have some very, very good infantry, but it's not their strength. Dol Amroth's thing is being a heavy cavalry faction, which they are the best heavy cavalry faction in the game. Oh, I just saw
That's
that.
right, fool. It's an enemy ship.
Oh, and they have units on that.
Mariners!
Mariners.
Captain of Gondor.
Forward! Maintain order! Onward!
That is an issue. I don't like that. Really need eco buildings, and I don't think I really want to build anything on Gobeltel Flass right now. So let's bring these guys down. Yeah, sure, I mean, you know, there's crappy coastal wardens, but more troops is better. And javelins can be good. Yeah, we're losing money to devastation. I know I was just saying how bad it was, but I can live with it for right now.
Awaiting your
I have bigger fish to fry.
Protect the blood of
Yeah, so
Numenor.
once Istian is in that... Actually, I probably could send
Captain of
Istian.
Gondor. Protect the blood of Numenor.
awaiting your maintain
Captain of Gondor.
Actually, how far can Imrahil
ready your
travel?
weapon. Maintain order!
Okay. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have Imrahil,
Protect the blood of Numenor.
Istian, and the cavalry,
Quell this evil!
and they're going to assault this rebel captain here, who has some warriors, some archers, and some corsairs. But I think I'm going to leave that for right now. I'm going to leave that for the next video. I'm going to save it here. Save. But I am going to leave it here, I believe. So, I apologize, there hasn't been a whole lot of gameplay in this video. Mostly it's been me ranting about the history of Divide and Conquer and ranting about people not liking Dol Amroth as a faction, which is a perfectly fine faction. It could be improved, certainly, and there's things that could be changed about it, but that's a separate discussion. So, next episode, we'll probably start with this battle. But, you know, if you've stuck around and watched the video, I thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know, I'd like to get the channel growing, and so any comments, you know, constructive criticism, tips on playing Dol Amroth, really anything. You know, just say anything you want. You know, I'll be happy to read it. I'll reply to you. If you like the video, of course, like it, and if you want to subscribe.